Hi, this is Daniel O'Connor from the Warpit Reuse Network, and I'm going to talk about the business case for reuse in the next 5 to 10 minutes. When I say reuse, I mean the reuse of surplus assets within an organisation and between organisations. We're going to cover the financial, the environmental and the social savings that are brought about by reusing surplus assets. Your assets, your surplus assets, they have a value, okay? They have a value to somebody. It's only a waste when it's in the wrong place. Reuse has a much greater impact than recycling, yet recycling gets all of the funding and all the attention. Reuse will actually pay you back. So reuse actually isn't prioritised high enough. Reuse brings a treble win, okay? You save on procurement costs when you reuse internally, you save on waste costs. You also save on reputational damage. Staff and visitors don't see this sort of image on your grounds. And also, if you can't find homes for your surplus assets within your organisation, you can donate them to others, where the impact is magnified, okay? Let's first of all talk about the savings you can make internally, okay? When you throw something away in your organisation, it's not just the value of that asset that's being thrown away. The organisation and the staff in the organisation at some point have invested time, effort, energy into that asset in its working life. So you're not just throwing away the value of the asset, you're throwing away all of these other aspects as well. When you reuse assets internally, you stop the new recipient of that asset purchasing a new asset, okay? So you save on procurement costs. On the other hand, the person who's passing the asset over saves on waste costs. Win-win. Also, a side effect is if you set up a reuse mechanism internally where staff can donate to one another, staff who are receiving the asset don't need to do a purchase order, okay? So there's a big saving on purchase orders. Now let's look up the supply chain. For example, 60% of the NHS carbon emissions are in their supply chain, okay? If you're swapping and trading internally, if you're swapping and trading assets, you're stopping the manufacture of new assets, okay? And the manufacture is where all the main environmental impacts lie. When you reuse an asset, you stop the manufacture of a new asset, okay? So you stop the manufacture of goods. Goods, when they are manufactured and transport, require energy, okay? When you use energy, you emit carbon dioxide. So if you're not manufacturing those assets, you're not using that energy, you're not emitting that carbon dioxide. So there's a big carbon dioxide saving in the supply chain, okay? There's also a saving in the supply chain from avoided waste. So the chair you're sitting on at the minute generated 90% more weight in waste than it actually weighs, okay? That's up the supply chain. So at every point in the supply chain when it's getting manufactured, there's waste, there's waste, there's waste, there's waste, okay? So by trading assets internally, again, you're stopping manufacturing, you're stopping all that waste up the supply chain. Now that's the standard consumer good. IT products are actually 4,000 times their own weight in waste during manufacture, okay? So if you wanted to start somewhere with a big impact on sustainability, you might want to start swapping and trading surplus IT equipment. The social benefits are much magnified because when you donate a surplus asset into a third sector party, to a school or a charity, the school or charity saves money because they're not buying new stuff and they can put that money to better use, okay? That's the first benefit. The second benefit is some charities can actually sell those assets on and generate revenue. So by setting up a reuse mechanism internally, yes, you can trade with other staff. Those assets can go into the charity sector where they can generate more impact. That is the business case for reuse. A quick reminder, when you allow staff to swap and trade surplus assets, you save money on the purchase of new assets, you save money on disposal. You also reduce your risk of reputational damage. Nobody likes seeing stuff in skips. If your staff see items in skips, there's a negative reaction there. And finally, the other win is you donate those assets into third sector and they have a magnified impact. So my take-home tip for you is explore developing a reuse target, track the savings you're making in that short time, and then use those savings to make a business case to put more results into reuse. My name's Daniel O'Connor and I work at the Warpit Reuse Network. So you can see that our customers are saving lots of money, lots of carbon, lots of waste by setting up reuse mechanisms where staff can swap and trade internally but also swap and trade with other organisations, okay? So they're saving money, they're saving carbon, they're getting massive return on investment, and they're donating assets to charity as well, okay? So I'm Daniel O'Connor, I'm from Warbit. If you want to get in touch, please visit our site, have a browse. We're working with lots of large organisations, setting up reuse mechanisms to save them money, carbon and waste. Okay, hope you hear from me soon. Have a great day.